And an S aptitude for the grade that you're in gives you 5% wits. Anyway, timestamps exist in case you want to skip forward. We're just going to use my tickets here really quickly. So, yeah, I can at least go for... I keep doing Biwa Hayahide. It's fine. I mean, it would be nice. If I get Biwa here, that would be interesting. Otherwise, I'll just take anything I can get. I always just go right in, but hey, I'll take a Daiwa Scarlet, and off we go. So, I don't think I have any tickets for the support card banners. I am, as you might have saw, I am getting seen. I am getting close to 1500 again, but whether or not I'll continue doing so, well, yeah. I will be continuing to pull, but now, yes, now I am kind of... Oh, I tripped on something in real life. Stuff. Anywho, moving on. And as you can see, I'm just slowly making adjustments to my team trial team, just so that they fit more in the... where they're supposed to be. But as for Gold Ship here, not really much else to say. I think we're just going to go with the same thing. I know I shouldn't be pushing myself to pay A aptitude pace, but it's just what I've got. Do I want to do Simply Rudolph instead? No. So we'll do El Condor here. Actually, no, we'll do Simply Rudolph. Who am I kidding? And off we go. I'm pretty sure I have someone as a guest that I can bring on as a guest, but I'm deciding not to do that. So, we're going to replace Tasna here, probably with Vodka, funny enough, and then I'm just going to go with the kind of more even spread. I would not advise this, I'm just trying to see what I can and can't get away with. Because instead of Super Creek, I'm putting in Vodka for another stamina, for a stamina recovery perk, essentially. And again, going silent for the timestamps, but... Also, you might have seen there that I had scenarios, but not trainee, because I wanted to get back into the lore of Uma Musume, but yeah, we'll shorten all events for the sake of this video, if nothing else, because you've probably already played on your own if you're watching this video. The other 20 to 10% of you who might be enjoying this may not know any of the story for any of the girls, but that's not what we're here for, because we're here to experience the Batsu, but... otherwise also trying to remember things that I really should remember by now, but I don't. Also, some people like doing recreation immediately. I don't. I usually like to spend a bit of energy, just in case I get no karaoke here, or anything else that would increase energy and mood at the same time. But at the same time, I also like to just leave my mood at times and just hope that an event comes by. That's all I have to say. But yes, as I mentioned earlier, so as we switch over to the career profile here, we're using Vodka here because I don't have to borrow Vodka or Super Creek, depending on who I need. And I can get the recovery on straights instead of corner recovery rare skills. That's essentially the breakdown there. And then we're also, you know, it's nice to have a fully max limit broken Kita-san Black here waiting for me, so... we're gonna gamble on 6 to 10% failure rates. Might go higher. It depends on what what the rewards actually look like relative to the risks. And off I go, trying to also remember other things. As I mentioned, probably at the beginning of the video, because I don't even remember that much. Yeah, I talked about aptitude ranks, and yeah, S rank I think is 5% wits. It's not strictly that most of the time. I can't remember if that's an exact calculation or pretty much a derived calculation. And what I mean by that is there are some things like what is it called? Oh, I'm even forgetting. Never mind. It sounds like I'm just stalling for time. But there are some things that are just simplified for the sake of understanding. I don't know if that's one of them though, S aptitude. I think it is strictly directly 5% wits. Sometimes there's a calculation in between, but it's close enough it doesn't matter. Sometimes it's like, in this example, if this is a derived calculation, that's not a phrase, I'm just making it up, but it would be like 5.25%, but it's close enough it doesn't matter. Unless you are sitting in the near 800s to 1000s in your stats, which is a completely different story. So, because otherwise, normally, you would be looking at... Oh, we're not getting a mood increase, are we? Do I just gamble on this? No. I could just sit on good through Junior Make Debut, but if I fail the Junior... Or if I don't get first in the Junior Make Debut, that's even worse, so we're gonna do this. That was a very good recreation. You don't normally get that result from that recreation. I keep forgetting what the exact name is called, but... Anyway, moving on. And we're not going to use any skill points here. Let's be confident. I think there is something I could have bought, but it's... But did I say Hiyahide? I mean, I meant Hayahide. I'm going absolutely insane. That's also on top of, I think someone corrected me, and so it was... Did the Korean and Taiwanese server come up at the same time? I feel like it was the same time, wasn't it? Was it 2022? But either way, those are the two servers. I don't know why I was thinking China instead, but yeah, I think it's Korean. Again, correct me if I'm wrong. Korean servers and Taiwan servers were released the Uma Musume game. And I think here we just sit, yeah, so we just sit here until I don't need to schedule any more races. And other things as well. As I'm getting more comfortable, I think I'm still going to go 600 speed, 600 stamina, 600 power, or some derivation, oh my going crazy. Some distribution of those stats. Those have normally gotten me to URA Finals. Now, there might be some oddities in between, especially clocking, but if I get anything higher, like 700 in each stat, or 700 even two of the stat speed and power, I'm normally okay. But stamina's a more fickle thing in my opinion, because depending on the trainee that you're training, you want your stamina to be higher or lower faster, if that makes any sense. And yeah, as always, I believe that if you just outstat, I mean, I think it's true, at least from my experience, but if you just outstat your competition, you're fine. Oh my goodness. It's dangling right in front of me. And we don't have Tazna, though. If I had Tazna, I'd feel better about taking that risk. Not that we even have Tazna Recreation, so we're just going to rest here and just take this away from myself. Try and work on strength. Oh my goodness, I slipped on the button. I should leave confirmations. Nah. I can't believe I did that. It's fine. It's not fine. Well, either way, I can still hit 600 because usually what I ended up doing is leaving my wits and guts a lot lower. And by that I mean I didn't train. So I think in an earlier video I said that I like to train guts, or the stats I wasn't going to train earlier, and I still do that, but I don't train them as much because I let the other trainings increase them. So I know I'm gonna be doing stamina training. So my guts can be lower because they'll increase while I'm doing stamina training. And I don't need to do as much wits because I'll probably just insert wits wherever I can find it. Now, if there are bonds available, that's a different story, but you get the point. I don't really plan on touching guts or wits. Well, guts a lot of the time, wits some of the time. We got practice perfect, by the way. But as for the rest of these turns, I do want these bonds to appear. Yeah, that one turn I did recreation really... does not sit well with me. That essentially at least lowers my stats by about 40-50. It's lower than it would be if I had made this mistake later on in the run, because then you can do some adjustment at the beginning of your training. What you can't do is take back a turn later on in, say, end of classic year that could have gotten you 60 in a stat or more, and then you accidentally do a whoopsies. And for those who don't know, you can set confirmations when you're sleeping or resting or doing recreation. That way you don't do what I just did. But at the same time, your hand-eye coordination should not result in you accidentally clicking what you don't want, or pressing what you don't want if you're playing on mobile. Which I do at times because, well, I mean, if I need to use this setup for other things, then I would. I think we're actually gonna take Sibylle Rudolph's unique here, and then I'll take Gold She's recovery if we don't get anything else by the optional G1 race I'll be in. I think that's the idea. Or we could just get held up. I should really start watching some of these races. I have watched some of these races, essentially, because if you didn't notice earlier, I was on the my Sibylle Rudolph deck, which means, yes, I was recently training Sibylle Rudolph, and so I watched some of those races happen. I think it was the third race for the Triple Crown during Sibylle Rudolph's goal that I saw that she got stopped and held up. Also, the fact that I think... Who was I against? I know they popped their unique, though. And it's very obvious. For an easy example is that you see Silent Suzuka in first, and then she gets a velocity up. That's likely her unique skill. I could be wrong. I never really fact-checked that. Oh, we need to do a race, by the way. Probably this G2 here. We should get at least top 3 or 5. I think even top 5 we get enough fans. We're doing this for the fans, but yeah. But yeah, I watched Simile Rudolph races, and it's literally being held up by pace chasers in front. Yeah, pace chasers in front, and just RNG. At the time, my Simile Rudolph, specifically to, I guess, speak this tale, had concentration, didn't proc concentration. Then she got to the final spurt, did not proc her own unique, and so I just became really sad. And hey, guess what? We got second or third, I think. Was it even this one? I know, I'm curious. No, I don't need to check, but I got third in that race, and that didn't help at all. So I think I scheduled this race, right? Tell me I did. Yeah, okay, I did. Although we will just rest here. If we get well rested, that would be nice, but we'll take all refresh. I think... I forgot what the exact odds were. Was it 15% to get sleep deprived? Anywho, let's race. I could pick up a skill here. We shouldn't need to. Again, unless we get like 12th, we should be perfectly fine fan-wise. I didn't want to race here, so this is at least... Yeah, so top 5. I should still get enough fans. But... yeah, this is at least 2 turns, possibly 3, depending on how the turns could have come out in a different future where I didn't do recreation on accident. But yeah, I've lost 2 turns of training, essentially. 1 for that recreation slip-up, and 2 as we get Breath of Fresh Air here. 2 for this race I had to do, which I didn't need to do if Gold Ship had placed first in the Hopeful Stakes. Hopeful Stakes? Is that what it's called? Anywho. So-called wannabe... what are we, returnee? I guess I'll call myself a returnee trainer. By no means am I a veteran. Probably less than the middle ground, if anything else, because boy, was my early global server day... were my early global server days not great. But we're probably going to get the pace... nope, long aptitude, which will help out with the goal races, but it won't help out with my URA finals because I'm purposely going to be taking a lot of medium races because they're all G1s. I'm doing all the G1 races as someone laughs in the background. But yeah. So, on a separate note, I did want, right before this next timestamp coming up here, I did want to do another series, but I've already Batsu'd myself with Gold Ship, so those might be, I mean, I might do 2 things in tandem. I mean, I am doing like 3 to 5 runs per day, or training sessions per day, because that's just how much you get. Actually, I should do that calculation and find out. So, 10 minutes per 1 TP. In 60 minutes you get 6. Am I going crazy? Why does that sound a lot lower than I expect? Anywho. We could do wits here. Yeah, let's do wits for McQueen Bond. But, let's see, yeah, 10 minutes for 1... Am I going crazy? Yeah, I thought it was, yeah, 10 minutes for 1 TP. Why am I going crazy? Oh, goodness. Also trying not... I guess I'm also trying not to slip up, but... we... Actually, couldn't we have entered one here? I mean, we have a B in Mile, but we're actually trying to enter the Tokyo Yushin... And then we'll also enter the Takarazuka Kinen. That's just what I like to do. It does take away stats, but we should be fine. But yeah, 60 TP, 6 energy. So in 1 day, you get 100 and... Wait, I'm going crazy. Let me recap. You get 144 TP. Did I calculate that right? Anywho, moving on. Let's take the other... Actually, let's take Breath of Fresh Air. That way we can survive if we proc it. I think we're like 60%, 50 to 60% chance to proc it, maybe. Which we will need to help us out immensely here. Even with the stat increase, I believe. We'll see 7 lengths? No. And 1 length is equal to 2.5 meters in game, if I recall correctly. Again, try to correct me if I'm wrong. I know I'm saying this stuff out loud and it sounds redundant at times, but I'm doing this in part for my own benefit. Also, I don't think we get to train a single time. This would be nice, though. But I don't believe in the 20%. So let's just rest and then do our Takarazuka Kinen. Otherwise, yes, I would have either done that training and then not gone into Takarazuka Kinen, or rested, basically. But I didn't feel like taking a chance there, so we should still outstat our opponents. That's the wrong one. Because I didn't schedule. Ow! My body. But, oh my goodness, what is wrong here? No! I'm looking at something, and I'm wondering, what place did we get? I hear, oh, 10th place. Well, must have gotten held up. again, you can't check. I don't think you can check your race if you skip the race, so shrug. Usually I win there, though. So I'm just going to chalk this up to the 2 turns I wasted, which could have actually made the difference, but we're here now. So that on our wits is a bit low. We'll do wits for Tokai Teo, but also wits. And the other way to say what I'm wanting to say here is, if there are 2 reasons for me to take a training, I'll usually take it, if there are no better options. But as we sit here, do I want to gamble here? We might do wits next turn, so in a way this is an option select. Because if we see speed training, a really lucrative speed training, we would have done it. We don't though, so as I said, we'll take wits. And then we should do some kind of training after this. Although I don't need to increase my wits anymore, so I'm gonna try to be careful about that. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, I'm looking at something, and I'm wondering why it's that way. Anywho, it's real life stuff. Stream-like videos. I would rather power, possibly stamina, but since we have stamina skills for the moment, we're gonna 7%. Okay, good. The max level Kita-san Black helping out here. I think it's mainly the mood and training effectiveness, yeah. Because without friendship training, you still benefit from those two, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, I'm certainly a returnee trainer. I don't remember any of this basic stuff. But anyway. Something to note... Oh, we get sleep deprived there. Something to note is that... Nah, my mood! But... Is that I am... I do see interest in watching a lot of other trainers, or listening to other trainers. Try to learn more of Uma Musume. And you don't, I mean, for practicality's sake, you don't need to be that in tune with everything. But 16%, I was about to say, I just realized I gambled on 16%. But there is still a lot to memorize, but you don't need to memorize everything. And for the most, oh my goodness, 2 sleep deprived into night out. Oh, this is not the run for me to be skipping over. Yeah. No way. I think this is the first time on global server I've gone into a race with a bad mood. Or a negative mood, at least. I'm pretty sure I've gone into a race with neutral mood, but this video, like, literally, this recording is content gold for me anyway. So let's find out what happens here. I mean, it's URA scenario. If this were anything outside... We won by 9 lengths, so goes to show. It's not the heaviest debuff. I mean, you would rather be at alpha mood than have 1 less in an aptitude. I'm pretty sure, right? Anywho. And by that I mean specifically, you rather have an anywho, timestamp. Just noting down something for future Jordan. But what I was trying to say before I was cut off by my own timestamp is that you would rather have an alpha mood than have a B aptitude than... So you would rather have an... Oh, let me reword that. You would rather have an alpha mood going into a race, but have A aptitude, than have a B aptitude, but have a great mood. I'm pretty sure. Unless that's actually closer than expected, but yeah, we have to go into the scheduled race. Gold chip, please. Please cooperate for now. We're gonna start going to after school stroll. We are not getting any other rares. So, let's go in. Again, it's not the worst thing, but it can be it is certainly a contributing factor to your race performance, but I don't really have the luxury of correcting this at the moment. Funny enough, we're about to run into more mood things, but yeah, mood doesn't matter here. The 400 stat buff, although we did win by a nose, so... Could have been a lot worse. Future Jordan, please! Clickety clack. Again, I'm taking notes for the sake of future Jordan so that I can do stuff. Oh my goodness, awful mood. Pain. Yeah, there's no point doing that. So we really need to recreation. Karaoke will help. Do I get a mood increase? We can through the claw machine. So let's hope we don't drop all 3. Assuming we pick up the dolls, let's not drop all 3 times. Which has happened before. Don't think it's happened in recording, so let's find out. I'm excited too. Oh my goodness, but doing this on PC is a little bit jarring because of my own frame dropping. So, this should be near enough. Could be a little off. I was off. No! And yes, I do normally pick up upright plushies, so it is harder for me to gauge. Although I see a huge McQueen, so this should be on. Now whether we get it is a different story. Yep. Oh, I've made some pretty bad mistakes this run. Hey, it's a big, nice nature. That should be on. Do we drop this one? Can't get a big win now, but we'll do our best. I think you need 2 smalls and 1 huge to do big win. You can also get 6 small, if I recall, but I have not gotten that yet, I don't think. Actually, I think I have, but I don't remember if it was 6 or more, or less, to get a big win. But in any case, winning here, I think, increases mood as well. Now, the funny part is, if I had Swinging Maestro here... Now, yeah, so we got straightaway recovery, and we already picked up vodka. So, essentially, we lost skill points there, but that's being... that's trying to min-max for the sake of min-maxing, rather than practicality. Because of all the RNG that exists... Oh, we can't even take quarter adept. Well, off we go to the race. So, good mood, Arima Kinen. We should be okay here. I didn't miss a race, did I? Why do I feel like I missed the race? It must be because I was just racing in a bad mood, or a gold ship was racing in a bad mood. But with this S aptitude, believe... I face-palmed in real life. We lost barely, so again, any manner of thing could have happened here. The only other goal I'm worried about is getting 300,000 fans at least. That's really what I'm aiming for. Sometimes I get 400,000 with gold ship. I'm pretty sure I have, but anywho. Shouldn't be looking better, although those mistakes that I made earlier, not making those mistakes would have helped out a lot. Again, I do personally believe that an extra 20 to 30 stats, especially up to your senior year, or even through your senior year, is it is very detrimental to your goal races. But again, maybe I could be wrong at times. But hey. And this is with the stat help, by the way. So again, for those who don't know, you get 400 in, I think, every stat, not just stamina, if I recall correctly. That's 3%, by the way. I'm pretty sure that's 3%, last I checked. There's a 3% chance for you to pull the ticket, and then there's a 12 to 15%, I forgot which, to get Curry, which is the same effect, but as I mentioned before, the onsen ticket is special scenes. But I think Osaka High is the one I scheduled next in March? Yeah. Late March. I didn't remember the specific phase, but... yeah, we'll do this wits really quickly. I am a bit behind on stamina, though, so I might just force stamina if we don't find one. I think McQueen is above Orange Bond. But either way, I'll take 2 supports being there that are not the director or the reporter. But we'll see. We should get this. Yeah, we know. I know I have. I think it's 30,000 fans to 40,000 fans to 120,000 fans. Anywho, let's find out. So that's not enough. So I guess we'll do speed for now. If our recovery skills proc, we do have enough stamina. The problem is what happens when they don't proc, which is why I've recently liked as we get restricted here. Which is recently why I've started enjoying of all this. Now, this is a gold ship turn, by the way. We can do anything else if I really want to, but I don't want to. So I'm pretty sure I'm also sitting on missions that I could have done. So funny enough, what we're actually going to do here is rest. Probably should take the power, all things considered. This was a really inefficient rest, but I'm going to gamble on the next 2 turns the next 2 turns I train having friendship training. And I guessed wrong. So hopefully stamina? Nope. We didn't even get that. Well, this is a better power turn, but yeah, I should have just trained if this is the case. If for no other reason than for the Osaka High here, yeah, we're not gonna risk this either. I forgot what the exact rewards are, but I don't want to take Slacker on a run where I've already made a lot of mistakes and didn't win as many races. But again, this all stemmed from, at least hopefully for the last time I say this video, this all stemmed from me slipping and accidentally hitting Recreation. Which I really have no reason to. There was no reason for me to have slipped there, but anywho. We did win first. And if nothing else, these optional G1 races that I'm doing are helping out with skill points. Not necessarily just fans or trying to make up for goal races that I did not place first in. Or gold ship place first in, but I think the trainer can take some credit, right? But you get what I mean. More white inspiration. We were double circle, right? I mean, you're not guaranteed. I still don't think you're guaranteed to get the golden spark, which is something I mentioned before. We got turf aptitude and long aptitude S, but unfortunately our stats look absolutely terrible. So as gold ship decides to take the reins for herself, we did not get the thingy-majiggy. I really didn't get the upgrade? Really? Well, I guess off we go. So, would have liked anything else. Again, vodka is primarily here for the rare skill. So I guess I'm just going to take the wits instead. We can still hit 600 on all the stats on the left. My issue is that our goal races look a bit finicky as the game freezes for a moment. And it actually, so if you compare this video with the earlier videos, the reason why you might be seeing more basically choppy movement is because I did change. Actually, let's check really quickly. Give me 10 seconds to show you. But I did set things to standard quality rather than basic. Even though I really shouldn't do that, but for the sake of your viewing experience, I really should do. Also, I never took Professor of Curvature. Actually, I couldn't have taken it. I could not have taken it early. I could have taken Corner Adept, but anywho, we should win this. If we don't win this, I will be a little sad. So, as Ogre Cap thinks about her next meal, there's no way we lose this, right? Yeah. It's funny because when I say lose, I'm like, oh, if I get second or below, I lose, which is correct. I mean, in the setting of Musume, getting first is winning and not getting first is losing. But you can feel good about placing second or third. Also depends on the situation. In gameplay-wise, you do want to place first, second, and third. You can't just take first for the sake of team trial points. I think, right? Do I remember that calculation right? Anywho, moving on. Although, yes, again, as I mentioned at the very beginning, I guess we can yap on about team trial talk. I can take a race here if I so choose. Mile racing as gold ship. That would be interesting. I think we're B aptitude, right? Yeah, B aptitude for mile. Or, how much is this? I think I'd rather do stamina training here. Yeah, let's do stamina training. Then we can train again late May. And then we can rest early June so we can go to Takarazuka Kinen on late June. Again, I have this all planned out already because it's partly old muscle memory from long ago and then new muscle memory from me doing it now. So this would be a nice stamina turn. So we'll take it. I don't think Vodka is going to get to Orange Bond before summer, but that's fine because we should, if we focus on speed or we get good speed training, then I don't need to worry about getting power to 600. I stumbled on my words there because I saw sleep deprived. I'm still stumbling over my words. Oh my goodness. Jordan, take a breath. I think we got Agema Send there. Oh goodness. I'm also, yes, getting reacquainted with the memes of training in Uma Musume. But anywho, it's not really a meme. I mean, it's a real thing based on, I think, a quote from the anime. Was it Special Week who said it? Anywho. That's what I heard. But, moving on. We should be okay here? Yeah, we're okay. Now, as for the summer training, if we have to focus power, we will. Otherwise, a good 2 to 3 friendship speed training. And by 2 to 3, I mean 2 to 3 supports are proccing. And by that, I mean all of my speed procs are proccing on a speed training during summer would be nice. I think it's about 66 plus speed and 20-something plus power, if I were to guess. But let's find out. Well, can't only special week, but that will have to do for now. And then we'll dump things into wits if possible, although I might want to gamble regardless. Let's find out. This is probably going to be as good a time as any. And now the question is, do I wits into stamina or rest into stamina? Since we have friendship training, we're going to wits into stamina. It's probably going to be 20%, 15% if... No, that's right, we don't have Tazuna. Well... Or I guess we can do Wits again. Otherwise, 30%. No! Eh? Wee! The sand in the eye. Well, take a proper rest. And now we lose about 3 turns, because we have to go to the infirmary, we have to increase our mood somehow. If I do so myself, that's 2 turns. And then we have to rest. The infirmary does give us rest, but let's just take care of this now. Hopefully it happens. Okay, yeah. It could be 3 turns if you don't get rid of it, that thing, because the infirmary is not guaranteed to do so. Otherwise, if this is not a great turn... Ooh, I just realized my mistake here. I'm gonna rest and hope for mood to increase through an event. So the reason I'm saying... I think it's motivation. Give me mood? Okay, good. I remembered that correctly. Thank you, Marvelous Sunday. You're marvelous! But yeah, let's focus on stamina now. Our power should hit 600, but I might still take a power speed training just for the sake of the goals, including URA Finals, because I want to focus stamina and make sure stamina can hit 600 as well. But again, depends on how the actual trainings come out. And if for no one else, yes, I do normally just keep on yapping and speaking out loud for myself so that I can at least try to remember. I'm also a very audio-based learner as well, but I think my personal best way of learning is just through muscle memory, which isn't great for some things. When you're doing very delicate tasks that cannot risk a chance of failure, you don't want to be... I don't think you normally want to be a kinetic learner? Is that what it's called? I can't remember what it's called. I could probably look it up right now, but I want to focus on training gold chip so I don't accidentally hit the recreation button again. I've actually done that more than a few times, if you would like to believe it, so... And I think half of the time I do that, I do mess up my training totally. Or I believe it's a contributing, if not the contributing factor. But as we get to a serious battle here, let's see here. So yeah, again, this is because power also increases stamina. I forgot about that for a moment. But if we focus on stamina, primarily through stamina training, or indirectly through power training, we should be able to hit 600. Now, I don't normally see more than one Fickle Maiden event from Gold Chip, but it's stamina, so I'm not really miffed about it. And it's just Gold Chip. But here's me thinking, I'm pretty sure there are other, I mean, if not just in the scenario mode, I think we're just gonna rest here. I just realized I did not do one of my races. Is it this race? No, we missed it. I was supposed to do another Japan Cup race, but it's fine. We lose fans because of it, but if that means I can guarantee 600 stamina, I don't really mind. I apologize in advance to my own club. But, yeah, we should be able to hit 600 stamina guaranteed now, if we win all of URA, but I am going to be missing at least 40,000 to 50,000 fans from my own run. So, and yeah, at this point we have to get first anyway, so we will definitely... I mean, if you care about hitting the legend tier, you'll hit it, but by this time, especially if you pull and scout a bunch of support cards and Uma Musume, you should be able to reliably hit 300,000 to 400,000 fans minimum at this point in global server. But support cards more so because obviously they have things like the fan bonus and race bonuses for indirectly making you more consistently get first so that you can get more fans. But you get what I'm trying to say at this point. So, yeah, thankfully McQueen is giving us friendship training here, which I will still appreciate, because even at 600, I think with just 600 stamina, is it 600 or is it 500? One of the two is not enough for URA Finals if you don't have pretty much any recovery skill for medium-length races, but we have 2, so we should be fine. Did I ever end up taking... Did I take the last one, by the way? We didn't take Coastal... Yeah, we don't have Go Home Specialist, funny enough, but even with just a normal skill, that extra recovery, which is about 50 stamina, question mark? Am I going crazy here? I might be going... I think I'm basing that off of 1200 in stat. Am I basing that off 12? And now I just want to pull up a calculator just to see, but I guess we can wait for URA Finals, so... Yeah, we should normally reliably win the qualifiers and the semifinals. I think I have about a 15% chance of losing overall, basically. during the first 2 races. Now, the finals, I think, is still kind of a 30% chance to lose, which is why I say when I clock, I'm much more consistent. But anywho, that's a different problem. 40 or 28, but more power. I'm going to take stamina here. I really should take speed or power instead, but we have another turn left before that, so we should be perfectly fine. So as this thing loads, I'm actually going to pull this up off to the side and see. Am I basing that off of 1200 stamina? I might be pretty much incomprehensible to someone who doesn't know much about Uma Musume, but allow me to explain myself if I can do this really quickly. So 1200, nah, I might be going crazy. Well, anywho. Yeah. 18? That can't be right. Anywho. I guess we'll take speed here. So again, this is pretty much where I want to be at. My wits is a little high, but I don't mind my wits being that high either. I think 500 wits, after 500 wits, I normally am kind of, unless I'm trying to obviously get a 3-star spark in wits, but that's a complete different story. I think we're 5 skill points away from Go Home Specialist. We are, but out of curiosity, what green skills do I have available? Rainy Days, and I never took the Coast is Clear, but that's fine because I'd rather have these other more reliable rare skills than Navigation. If it is indeed, I'm gonna jump off the trust and hope that that's correct. Let's see. I think Turf is 5% more acceleration. Quote-unquote acceleration? I forgot what that exactly means. I don't think it's strictly power, but yeah. So let me do another calculation while we're waiting for this here. Huh. I must be going crazy. I probably am going crazy. Well, either way, I'll have to look into that. I'm basically calculating what the quote-unquote exact recovery is of certain recovery skills based on what I know. But I could just look it up, essentially, as the loading screen continues to load in front of my face. But that being said, so for those who are not as accustomed to this channel or haven't seen as much on this channel, I do have 2 different setups for recording. This is the weaker setup, but if I try to record on the stronger setup, funny enough, it doesn't run Uma Musume as well. But as we start this race, hopefully things go well. We start on the inner. Is that bracket 1 if I recall correctly? Anywho, I mean, I guess I could just look up something now, but specifically, yes, all this, as I may have mentioned before, I'll probably mention it at least one more time before I stop for a while, but again, for those who don't know as much about Uma Musume or just don't know in general what I'm about to say, then yeah, we know what's going to happen in the history or upcoming events, Uma Musume, so on and so forth, for Uma Musume based on the previous servers. Primarily Japan, but we can look for, it helps to have the Korean and Taiwanese servers. Again, correct me if I'm getting the exact servers wrong, but based on those servers, the scheduling seems to be pretty much, we can predict with near 95-99% accuracy at least the timing of when things release in this game. But as for what exactly is coming out, it's pretty much 100% so far, if I'm not mistaken. Aside from mistakes that anyone in charge of the global server may make in terms of, you know, doing things on banner and whatnot, which if you didn't know on global server or forgot, or need to be reminded, and if nothing else, correct me if I'm wrong, is that as we get into the final spurt here, there was a mistake with one of the banners or something like that. I didn't really look much into it because obviously I don't scout as much, but that happened. I don't remember if that happened in any other servers. I definitely don't know about Korea and Taiwan, but I do remember a bit of Japanese, and I don't think something like that happened, an error with the banners, but we should be able to pull forward ahead here, unless something really strange happens. Grass Wonder always makes me a bit iffy, but hey, we passed her, so it's perfectly fine. But as we complete this run out here and get drop-kicked for the umpteenth time, I'm going to do my best to get my gold chip to 3-star because, man, if nothing else, the outfit. But that being said, I do think I would rather keep this event, or keep this account, because, and not reroll, essentially, because, well, If there is anything time-limited, I forgot if these things like Special Week event ever comes back. I think they do, right? But anywho, you get what I'm trying to say. There's pretty much nothing that's strictly time-limited, but that does lend itself to, as we get a hot spring. I think we hot spring before, so it's fine to just leave this as is, but... wow, we didn't even see it because of how choppy things were going. But yeah, the special week event card or cards of that nature that are tied to the event. This event, I think, is the Guts Machikane Tannhauser card, but those do come back. And even if they didn't, most of what you care for does come back. Although the other side of that, as I mentioned earlier, is that you do not. Really? You do not have a good chance of getting what you want until it comes back on a battle. And by that, I mean the rates in which you can scout something that you want. For example, say a support card or an Musume. But as we finish this playthrough here, probably not going to use this for time trials. It's just for, well, again, grinding for sparks and this video because I'm doing a Batsu. But, and just to explain really quickly in case anyone forgot, I have to do 20 gold chip videos, training videos. So as we get roll wits, get Pace Chaser again, and get Osaka High and Takarazuka Kinen, and Tenno Sho Autumn. Yeah, I think we got a one that I usually don't get, funny enough, as odd as that sounds. Yeah, receive inspiration from a Legacy Musume with career wins in Satsuki, Japanese Derby, Kikuka Sho. Win those 3-way races as well, but those are ones that I'm normally playing through anyway. So it's not like that's a rare epithet, it's just that you're going to do it. And I'm about 1.9 million away from my new shiny title, even though a lot of people have titles for their respective Musume. But you get what I'm trying to say. At this point, not really much else to go off of. I got to use this event things, and I will try to do more research. So at this point, I guess we'll just try to start closing out the video. Again, if you have anything to say, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please let me know. That was kind of just formal talk for the moment. But if you have anything else, if you want to support me or not support me, if you want to just follow me or subscribe, just follow my channel or subscribe. I mean, the only way I really communicate aside from replying to comments is through my discussion page on this channel anyway. But yeah, without further ado, got I think 17 to 18 more gold chip runs to do, pretty much one per day. So without further ado, thank you for watching and I'll see you later. Bye.